Hey everyone, good morning. All right, so Sherry Capella, and today I'm doing another Facebook Live to talk about day number 6. As you know, if you're following along, I'm doing 100 days of 100 ways to motivate yourself by Stephen Chandler. This is a part of my life coach training, and I have found just on day 6 tremendous inspiration from this. I'm hoping that you will too. So day number 6 builds upon where we've gone over the course of the last 5 days. Over the last 5 days, we've been talking a lot about different tips and techniques, which I will review at the end, on how to kind of motivate yourself into becoming who you want to be. If you're sick and tired of feeling sick and tired and repeating the same mistakes and just can't find your motivation or have lost your mojo, this might be the thing for you to follow for the next, well, today it's 94 more days. So anyhow, let me dive right in so I don't want to take too long. Number 6, today's number 6, and today's titled Simplify Your Life. Now, it starts out, this section is rather long. I'm not going to read a lot of it today like I normally do, but I'm going to read you some segments that I thought were incredibly poignant and kind of help you draw your own conclusions from this in terms of how you can parlay the simplification of your life as it relates to your 2018 goals into stepping into your own greatness. So the book basically starts out talking about the Green Bay Packers football coach, Vince Lombardi. Vince Lombardi was once asked why his world championship team, which had so many multi-talented players, why they ran such simple sets of plays. And his response was awesome. He said, "It's hard to be aggressive when you're confused." And think about that on a daily basis. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but there are some days where I don't know where I'm supposed to be, what time I'm supposed to be there, any of that. And this is so true when you can just simplify your daggone life. One of the benefits of creatively planning your life is that it allows you to simplify. You can weed out, delegate, and eliminate all activities that don't contribute to your projected goals. Another effective way to simplify your life is to combine your tasks. Combining allows you to achieve 2 or more things at one time. So in our lives, the way I do this is we're a family of 5. We have 3 little kids. We're always needing stuff, as you can imagine. We have 2 dogs, we have chickens, the whole bit. There's not a day that passes in our old way of doing this life that we have where we wouldn't go to the grocery store. We could go to the damn grocery store every single day. And so now that we've moved into a new house, we're kind of far away from where we like to grocery shop. We still like to grocery shop in our old neighborhood. And because of that, that's a hike. And it's not necessarily, practical for us to constantly be driving back to our old neighborhood to go to the grocery store. So what do? 2 days a week, I'm in that neighborhood because those are the days that I take Landon to preschool. I sit at a coffee shop, I invest in myself with my classes and my training, and those 2 days of the week are the days where I do my grocery shopping. So I get creative in combining things. Otherwise, we could be at Giant Eagle every day, and that used to happen. So you should ask yourself, what can you combine? And in this case, the author gave a great example, and this will certainly resonate with some of you parents. So in this one particular instance, this author he had made a new, like he was going to turn over a new leaf and he wanted to spend more time with his children. And as the week was progressing, he already saw that he was so daggone busy at work the whole day. And by the time he would get home every night, he would just crash out. And he was at the point where he knew if he came home with his 3 kids there and he wasn't spending time with them and he just crashed out and didn't do anything, they weren't going to have anything to eat because they were at a point now where they had run out of nearly every single thing in their pantry. And in so doing, he thought, how can I combine everything? So he went home, he got the grocery list, he picked up his 3 kids, and while he was driving to the grocery store, his daughter reminded him, "Dad, tonight I need you to review my report. It's due tomorrow. Remember, we were going to spend some time doing this." And he's like, "Oh, great. So I got to do all this tonight. How am I going to figure this out while having this much energy?" So he took all 3 kids into the grocery store. They were at an age where they could be a little bit independent. He divided the grocery list up amongst the 3 of them, gave them their own cart, told them that as they went down an aisle to come back and check in on them. The store was small enough that he could do this. And he sat in the little deli area and he read his daughter's report. And it was a way for him to have an activity with the kids, get the grocery shopping done, and to actually review her report at the same time. I'm sharing that one with you because I thought that was brilliant, Harry and I kind of laughed about it because he's like, yeah, right, Giant Eagle would never be the same if we set our 3 kids loose in there. So true, but we're also not quite there yet. So just sharing that one with you because I thought that was really good. The next one was, let me see, where am I? Okay, so he just talks about, how we combine the 3 things. The next one was an awesome tip where from a book he arrived at this thing called a manic blitz. And it's basically where you fuse together all sorts of small tasks and make the doing of them just one task. So the rest of the week is absolutely free to create as you wish. Now, this is how the capitalists do this. I've done lives on this before. I know this isn't for everybody, but if you need tips or tricks on this, or you need any kind of assistance, hi Bonnie, reach out to me. I can help you with this. The way that we do this, the way that we do manic blitzes, or another thing that we call from somebody I'm studying with right now, a 10-minute blitz, is basically food prep. I know it's not for everybody, but if every single night of the week you're constantly at the point where you're like, oh, what am I going to make for dinner tonight? And oh, blah, 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 blah. Food prep. So on Sunday, you get all your meals prepped. It doesn't have to be that the complete meal is prepped, but maybe on Sunday, while you're making dinner for the family that day anyhow, what is on my hair? You're making dinner for the family that day anyhow, prepare some extra ground turkey or, whatever, so that as you go throughout the week, whatever you had as a main ingredient tonight can be a part of an ingredient for later in the week. So that's just one way that we kind of combine everything on one day to simplify, the next 5 or 6 days in our lives. The next thing that I do to kind of make things a little bit simpler too in our lives is I have come up with something where we have in our family what's called an AM routine and a PM routine. And that is where, every single night we know that tomorrow's success hinges on what we do tonight for tomorrow. So what I've learned recently is that the PM routine basically sets the stage for your morning routine. So in order to simplify your mornings, you need to get ready for your mornings the night before. So the way that we get ready for it the night before is we have a PM routine where we have backed up bedtime. If bedtime is at 9 o'clock, but we have to pick out clothes for everybody, brush teeth, do bubble baths, get our backpacks packed, get any papers signed, read a book. If bedtime is at 9, that might mean that we actually need to start our PM routine with the kids at 7:30. And I know that that sounds crazy, but it's the reality, because if I want my morning to be simple and I want everybody in this play of life to know their role, then the cast of characters needs to set the stage the night before. So tonight, if tonight were a school night, I would say to everybody, okay, it's time to start getting ready for bed. That does not mean go upstairs and get in bed. That means that now is time for a bath. And after you get out of bath, while your hair is drying, because we have a couple little girls, that's the time that you get your backpack packed. You pick out your clothes for tomorrow. Another thing that we've done is everybody's bringing their toothbrush into mommy and daddy's bathroom. The reason for that is we have 3 small children, and I want them to see how they're brushing their teeth and how they're doing it well, because I can't be in all 3 locations at one time. They see how I'm doing it. I see how they're not doing it right. I teach them, and it just kind of simplifies this a little bit for everybody. Everybody gets their clothes out, because we're at the age now where with 2 little girls, sorry, Landon, 2 little girls, the mornings are becoming a thing for them in terms of, what do I want to wear? I don't like what I picked out. I make them try it on. They lay it out. They know the night before what they're going to be wearing to school tomorrow. The next thing that I do as a part of my PM routine to set the stage for tomorrow is I make my coffee at night. I set out the breakfast bowls. I get the cereal out, the spoons out. Everybody knows what they're having for breakfast. We go through the lunch menu. They see what's being served at school tomorrow. If they don't like what's being served at school tomorrow, they're in a I want to pack phase, then that's a part of my meal prep. then I say to them, okay, then let's make your sandwiches for the week. Let's make you're going to have hot lunch on, one day, and the night before we get the can of SpaghettiOs out with the can opener. I mean, it seems so elementary that I'm doing this, but the reality is what I do at night sets the stage for the next morning. And in so doing, it sets the tone for my day. So my AM routine has a tone set already. The kids wake up with expectancy. They expect that their breakfast is going to be ready. They have a routine. I stagger how I wake them up. If I start to see that there's something not working, I adjust it. I adjust it in a way that says, okay, the girls can't get up together because they talk too much, or Haley and Julie need to get up earlier together because they like that morning talk time. Whatever it is, I'm taking bits of information, adjusting our AM and PM routines as we grow as a family, as people grow out of things. And I'm making it work for our family because it helps to simplify every single day, every single routine in order for us to get out of the house, get to school on time. Let's see, what else did I want to tell you guys? So that's kind of how our PM routine at night sets the stage for our AM routine. And as a result, our mornings, when there's not a lot of time for straying from the routines, our mornings have become simple. That's not to say that every day is like that. Trust me, Jilly and Kate, every day is not like that. But because everything is prepped, it really does set the tone, and everybody knows their role, knows what's expected of them, and it just makes the day go a little bit more easily. Another thing that we do in our family is we do a family member laundry day. So by day of the week, and trust me, there's only 5 of us, but every day is a different laundry day. So on Monday, it's Haley's laundry day, and she knows that that's the day that her laundry gets done. And I chose Monday, and it changes throughout the year because she doesn't have an extracurricular event that day. So after school, after homework, she's able to, or even while homework is going, to do all of her laundry, because you know how that simplifies things, Jonathan? That simplifies things by taking the guesswork out of sorting. We don't have to sort anymore. And how we don't lose socks anymore is everybody has 2 dirty bags. I wanted to bring one here to show you guys. But basically what a dirty bag in our house is we get 2 of those little mesh laundry bags. Everybody has 2. And we have them hung on like a little hook next to our laundry basket in our bedroom. And as you go through the week, your dirty socks and undergarments go in this dirty bag. It zips up. It goes in the washing machine with your clothes. The second one is there for you. It's still hung up while your laundry's being done or whatever, because inevitably life happens and maybe laundry's not going to get put away for a couple of days, and as a result you have another dirty bag. So what this does is it has simplified life for us. Everybody has a day of the week that they do their laundry, and then I also, Harry and I are in that mix too. And then so on the 6th day, that's the day that I do all the towels. It just makes it easy, because then the girls can help me do the towels really quickly, or I can do the towels while I'm making coffee in the morning or whatever. You get my point. My point is that sometimes in order to simplify, you really have to be creative. And the simpler you keep it, the stronger it gets. It's hard to stay motivated when you're confused. And when you simplify your life, it gathers focus. The more you focus on your life, the more motivated it gets. So, these are some of the ways. Share with me some of the ways that you've simplified your life. I mean, obviously decluttering simplifies things. Not signing up for so many extracurricular events signs up for things, because in our house, our theory is kids need to still be kids. And, that's different for everybody. So, what works for me might not work for you. But hopefully these 100 days are motivating you. So just as a recap, where we've been, we're on day number 6. Where we started was day number 1 was get on your deathbed. Live with the end in sight. So think about where you want to go in this life. Are you going in that direction? What do you want your epitaph to read? What do you want people to think about you in your life? Are you doing these things? Are you living the way you want to live? And if not, it doesn't matter how old you are. Start today. Start re-going in the direction of your dreams. Number 2, stay hungry. Get a vision for your life. That was the one I did with Arnold Schwarzenegger, where he talked about, you need to have a vision for yourself. At the time that he had this quote of get a vision for your life, he was not a big box office draw by any stretch of the imagination. And the reporter asked him, what do you basically want to do now that you've conquered weightlifting? And he said, I'm going to be the biggest, Hollywood actor that ever lived. And the guy just kind of looked at him like, how are you going to do that? And he said, I have a vision for it. If I can see it, I know I can do it. And you know what? You can too. It doesn't matter what the heck that vision is. It could be PTA president. Do it. Number 3, tell yourself a true lie. I love this one. I don't like how it's worded, but see yourself living your best life. Like right now, I wake up in the morning and I'm like, how do I want to be at the end of this day today? How do I want my kids to feel? How do I want my husband to feel? How do I want my house to look at the end of this day? Sounds exhausting, but the minute that I have a vision and I tell myself a lie of when I go to bed, I will have made bracelets with Jillian. I will have done sand art with Haley and Landon. I will have blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is, if I see it in my head, my subconscious brain doesn't know the reality from something I'm visioning and something I'm doing. And because of that, because something you have done in terms of an old habit is easy for your brain. But if your brain doesn't know a new habit, it's going to tell you not to do it. So if you envision it and if you have a vision and you see yourself going through the motions of it, somehow it just makes a different route for your brain. Number 4, keep your eye on the prize. And this was the one with Jimmy Johnson where he laid down the 2x4 and he had his players walk across it. And he's like, you're focused on just walking across a 2x4. It's not a thing. You go from start to end. But if I raise that up 10 flights or 10 stories, 10 feet, if I raise that 2x4 up 10 feet and have you walk across it, your eye is not going to be on the prize, which is the end. Your eye is going to be on the stress. Your eye is going to be on the failure. So focus on the right thing. Number 5 is learn to sweat in peace. And this is prepare to win or prepare to fail. Or you can just fail by flailing, not having a plan. So the more you work behind the scenes for the results that you want to get, the better off you're going to be. The more I work out now and do my 10,000 steps on my new little Fitbit that I got from Santa, thank you, Harry, the better off I'm going to be this summer when I know I got to take my kids to water parks and do all the things that a 45-year-old mom doesn't want to be doing in a bathing suit, okay? But I know my 7 and 5 and 9-year-old are going to want to do that. So in order for me to be my future self and show up the way I want to do, I got to sweat in peace. And number 6, last but not least, for today, simplify your life. Get a plan. Break things down. Come up with 10-minute tidies, where, Harry always says in our house, it's better to keep up than it is to catch up. So that's how you can simplify. Instead of Saturday being all about cleaning up and having it be about cleaning up and all of that, do 10 minutes every day. Come up with meal preps on Sundays, even if it's small meal preps. Have an AM and a PM routine where, if bedtime's at 9 o'clock, you start bedtime at 7:30. If it takes that long for everybody in your house to get to where they need to be. At bedtime, the stage is set for morning. So that way in the morning, your morning is simple, your stress level is low, and you are on your way to making your best life possible. There you go, everybody. That's day number 6. Have a great day. Happy New Year. Bye.